Hey guys, how's it going? Just answering my mom on messages. How's everybody doing? I feel like, oh my gosh, those boys did not let me sleep at all last night. I forget how much energy 13-year-old boys have. Even at 4 a.m. this morning, I was like, dudes, give it up. Nope. Nope. Wired for sound. How's everybody doing? I got some really cool questions for you guys tonight. Let's see. How's everybody doing? It's good to see y'all here. I'm just still prepping. What section is this? This is medicine. Medicine and lab and path. Marking all these do nots. Lots of lab and path. I'm on page 744. Hey Twinkle, how's it going? Just marking all the do nots on this page, highlighting what's in parentheses. Anything that's in a CPT code that has a parentheses, I like marking because they often show up on the CPC exam for sure. Taking your exam on 6/4. We had so many take it this morning. It was crazy. There we go. Just answering questions. There's always lots of questions every day. You took your CBP last weekend. I would have been taking it this morning, or I would have been taking it this morning. I was so glad you took it last weekend. How did you do? Hey, Shell, how's it going? Look at all those donuts. That is so fancy. So cool. We had, who's this? Yeah, Tiffany, when you get on, I got you tons of integumentary questions. She just got her individual scores back, and that was one of her sections she needed to work on. Let's see, who was that this morning? Shawnee took her exam. She got exam 1B, which is great. It had that Warthan's tumor on it again. WAR. Where do we have wars at? We have wars in our mouth, right? Our salivary glands. She had sepsis with acute respiratory failure. She had phalanx bone, so we all should know where the phalanx bone is because we've been talking about that Part B exam since October of last year for sure. She had an asymptomatic COVID-19 guideline. She had a mid-level provider, ARDS, our abbreviation, acronym JVD2. Yay. Where you at? Meg passed her coding part. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. I hope I helped out a little bit. But I'm sure you could have done it without me for sure. Oh, there's lollipops, ice cream, and donuts. I wish that was in real life. You talked to AAPC yesterday. They are backed up on testing department. She whispered that they had a lot going on and they were backed up. Whispered, I wonder what in the world. It's a random May. I don't know. Weird. Shell just became the #1 top viewer. Let's see. What was some of the other things she said she had on her exam today? She had service code for outpatient floor surgery, fraud question, anesthesia. Her modifiers were QX, QY, QZ. She had case studies, literally ranged from integumentary to E&M. Each chapter for E&M, there was an attending OBGYN for the 99646 who also cared for the baby. There was a 99460. That's our standby service, I think, code. I'm just coming off the top of my head. There was an epigastric hernia with options to include mesh or no mesh. No mesh. Mesh, MESH. No, I have not hit the wine yet. I just, in general, can't talk. I'm sitting here with my juice. I got cherries and agave, I think, or something like that. It looks a hot mess. But, yeah, it's so good. Still doing my juicing with Miss Edwards. Let's see. And I got to get in a bathing suit in a week. So I'm going to stop eating food and just juice. Not that anybody's going to see me, but just the boys. But still, I don't want to gross them out. There was an epigastric hernia. Yep. We talked about that with mesh or no mesh. There was a colonectomy with intraoperative something else. Colonography. I'll be sure and post this to what's been reported back on the last 45 days. So if you already purchased that document, I haven't updated it since May 2nd because nobody said anything since then. But today is May 21st. Sometime today, tonight, tomorrow. I got all day Sunday too, I think, right? Today's Saturday night, right? Yeah. All the days are just, yeah, it's Saturday night. So I got all day tomorrow too. But I'll update that with Shawnee's info and post it. She remembered a colonoscope. A diagnostic procedure that doesn't reach the splenectic flexure. One of the codes was 45330. Somebody else also had exam 1B today too. So they were all talking about it back and forth. They both had a question on the colonoscopy decision tree. There was a thrombosis, and I thank them very much for 1 hour touring. Usually, how many questions could I work with you? I have so many questions and notes in my CPT book. I usually go 1 hour and half to 2 hours, but depends on how many others I have. I definitely don't do family talk unless you ask me about the kids, about kids. But we can go fairly quick. From question to question when I do tutor. And that is not how you spell fairly. There you go. Trying to answer everybody's questions. I'm sorry if I don't get to everybody. And, just keep asking. If you've asked me a question and I haven't responded, just keep asking. It's not that I haven't forgotten. It's just that I'm one person and I got thousands of questions every day and I'm just doing my best. I think I need to hire, I don't know, but then if I hire somebody, it's like, well, how do they know how to answer the question? I mean, because all of it's in my head. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm doing my best. Just keep asking. Keep asking. Where is Jen doing her live tonight? Oh, Southern Belle. Got another Southern Belle shell. That's awesome. Yay. Thanks, Twinkle, for handling all that. She messaged me today, was like, hey, where are we at? What time? Because I was way late. Where's my babies? Yep. Okay. Oh, we had so much fun last night, but good gracious, those boys would not go to sleep. But that's my favorite smile from last night, my little Jaybird. I call him Jaybird, and then Travis, my T-Bird. T-Bird and Jaybird. And then that's Sammy in the background, our kitty cat. He had a good birthday. That's the Zelda mask in his pictures, but we had a good old time. Although they kept me up all night long. Lord. Travis the only one that went to sleep. He can't make it past 10:30 any night. He's always out. But he was up again at 8 a.m. this morning, rolling around, having a good old time. But he always sleeps really good. Let's see. What chat did I miss? I talked to, there we go. They're backed up. Congratulations. She said it was about changing the dynamics of the test, but who knows? It shouldn't have been. Yeah. Probably just people manhandling the test. You got to open up the envelopes. You've got to scan them. It must be a manual process of some sort. Check them in. You got to go into each person's account and say we received it, and then you got to go send it to somebody else to manually scan it. I don't know. They don't have it as an easy process. Anytime it's a manual process where I have to go in and do something, it's difficult. So I can imagine a big corporation. Question: a patient who has chills, fever, sore throat, and determines strep, how do I code? You code it as strep throat. Depending on which strep, like strep B, strep A, whatever you're doing, you got to code it as your strep, and you do not code your chills, fever, sore throat, none of that mess. Can you do reimbursement methodologies? I don't. They're not asked on the CPC exam, and I didn't prep any for tonight. I do have those questions and answers. If I just prep some and get them available, it's really hard to come up with the fly a pattern of thought that I can articulate in the middle of a live to do payment methodologies. that I think will be clear enough during the middle of a live. And I don't know if I have enough people that need that info either. What I've got is my Discord group, and I have a practice room for CCS. They do a lot of questions with payment methodology, and if you have questions, you can post them in here, and as I find them, I post them in there. But if I get enough people in my lives that really want to go over payment methodologies, I can definitely prep something for that. I don't know, or do a workshop just on payment methodologies. I don't know what the interest would be. But I don't have any done tonight. What I've got is your guidelines, questions for the CPC exam, your wordy ones for the guidelines. I have and a ton of integumentary and anatomy questions. You had, who is that? Brandy. She had 1B Friday. She had the decision tree question too. That's awesome. What is the decision tree? Let's see. We need to go to, didn't she say there was a CPT code associated with that? So I don't have to go just randomly searching. It seemed like it was pretty easy once they got to the decision tree. 45300. So 4, 5. I don't know instantly where everything is in this book, but I'm getting there. 53330. Maybe if anybody knows about where their decision tree is located. Are we talking about our colonoscopy definitions and stuff right here? I had a question about an autopsy of a newborn infant. Yeah, I keep seeing that question up again. I wonder, that question, I'm going to get to it just as soon as we figure out that decision tree. I have some options for you back there about that autopsy. After you take care of everyone with the exam. Who is the world? Can you do reimbursement methodologies? I need to do some YouTube videos on it. That would probably be the best thing. Jen, can I buy the link to Saturday's medicine workshop? I think I just put up lab and path and I forgot to put up medicine, maybe. I don't know. What do I have up there on the website? Did I put medicine? I don't know. Y'all tell me, is it on the website? I know I put lab and path up because I forgot that one. What is in my shop? I don't know if I can get to it on my phone. My phone does not like to do that. If it's not posted, I need to write that down on a list of things that I need to do. That's you. Our Southern Belle. He was so happy. Whoops. Come on, phone. I need to do something for payment methodologies. Y'all have probably 10 questions in payment methodologies for your CCS exam. I bet. I need to go get some more questions in those. We're on page 381. Oh, there it is. There's the decision tree. That's cool. 381, she said. All right, Kia. No medicine on my online shop. Okay. Let me make a note. Put medicine up. Put medicine up. So our question, I wonder, you probably have to make a decision about it being therapeutic or diagnostics because they need to diagnose a particular issue, or if they're just cleaning out polyps and that kind of thing. If they didn't reach the splenic fixture was what somebody said was one of their questions. It tells you what your answers were going to be. So super cool. Be sure to know where that page is. I'll do a one-sheeter on this one so that everybody knows where this page is. Also, you know, I don't like y'all having tabs because I think they get in the way. But maybe putting one at the very top, noting where the colonoscopy decision tree is, would be fine. But the ones that are on the side, just get in your way because you're running from code to code to code. I like to tab where the E&M physical codes are for the risk, the 90s and the 80s, whatever they are, the new and established wellness exams that do the risk adjustment because those things are freaking hard to find. But this decision tree looks really cool. Yep. That's neat. Very, very neat. I still want to finish my one sheet, every CPT code listed with the one word difference written down beside every single CPT code so that you could just get that. And then you could just go from code to code to code and write down the one word difference between each of those codes. And it would be so nice to have. I would have loved to have had that document before I took mine. James just opened up some presents. He's at another birthday party. Somebody else is throwing for him, and he got $100 cash. Cash is always grand. That's awesome. Woohoo. He'll come home and immediately spend it. Immediately we'll get online and demand, hey, where's your card number? Let's put it in. He can't save nothing for his soul. He's very much the Taurus and likes immediate satisfaction. I'm a squirreler. I squirrel it. Always have been. So he just messaged. He's so happy. So that's cool. All right. I think that was it that I got from this weekend's exams. Now we got to wait like 10 days for people to figure out if they passed or not. What a bummer. Tonight's questions are going to be kind of cool. Y'all know how I tell y'all that all the answers are in the book somewhere. So definitely going to point out that reality tonight for sure. So if you have your hip picks for 2022 out, your ICD-10 and your CPT, that would be really great because some of the answers that do answer even a CPT question or something, or anatomy question or a guideline question, they might be in hip picks or they might be in ICD-10. I'll show you what pages they're on and where that information is located. So even if you don't get the same question on the exam, but you get the same type of question, you'll have an idea of where they're getting those questions and answers from. So I think it'll be helpful for sure. Where can I buy this book? Which book, Jewel, are you talking about? I have the CPT book, which your medical certification exam is an open book exam. So I like to go through AAPC to get medical certification done because you get 2 tries with their in-person exam, where with the HEMA or other certification entities, they only give you 1 shot and you're done and you got to repay to take the test again. So the ones that I have, as far as page by page notes of what to write in your books, I have some on my website, which is at medicalcodingbyjen.com, but the rest are on Etsy. I'm trying to move everything over there to my website because I can do bigger file sizes. Because I'm restricted on its Etsy to 25 megabytes per upload, and it makes you to where you got to get every section might have 5 downloads. But as I get that transferred, I've got a lot of stuff in a lot of locations. There's one document that I update, and if you purchase it once, you get the free updates forever until I eventually take you off an email list, maybe at some point. But it's called What's been on the exam the last 45 days, and you'll get that info about what's been on it. And since it's not my info and it's you guys' info, that money goes into giving people free sections of my notes and free tutoring for those that are in need. But everything's on Etsy, of course, and it's by section. There is a sale going on right now, but if you use the coupon 30, like the number 30, then the word % and then my name, Jen, you can get 30% off if you get 2 or more. But I have notes for every section. This is what it looks like if you want the one that says what's been on the exam the last 45 days. It's just raw information from people to tell you what CPT codes, what anatomy questions, words, that kind of stuff has been on there. Most helpful is probably the E&M, which is page by page of every E&M with my notes, because there could be up to 16 questions out of the 100 about E&M. So that's helpful. The only sections I don't have done yet are Appendix A and Labopath and Medicine. I'm still working on those, but all the other sections are up there. I do have some of the sections posted on my website too. Can't think of anything else interesting. If you want to watch the repeats of any of my workshops I've had in the past, oops, where did you go and why did you turn off? Just as I go to my computer decided to sign off. Okay. I have that in the store too on my website at Medical Coding by Jen, and you can get the log on and password to Zoom so you can watch the workshops that were $10 back on the day that happened. Today we're going to do, oops, that's too far up. I need to go down here because we did those E&Ms last night. Where am I at? Yep. We did all the E&Ms last night in my live. I don't think I posted that live up on YouTube yet either, so I got to download that and post it up on YouTube. So let me get through all these E&Ms. We had some really cool, neat, new, interesting E&Ms to look at. Ton of nursing facilities, SNFs, ambulances, 2-ways, but weird stuff too, like, I don't know. What was this one? This one was, lots of discharges or admits. That was a discharge. This one was visited by her daily physician for monitoring various conditions. Yes, sequencing, subsequent visits. Yep, those are cool. I wished I had this page like tabbed or sectioned off where I know where one ends and the next one begins, but I think this is it. We're going to do a kidney transplant. And then, no? Where am I at? Did we do those? No, we didn't. Where's all the integumentary that I did for today? I'm looking. Sorry, the computer went off. Oh yeah, my guidelines. The 7th character. Oh. What does excludes mean? All right, I'm just getting my page set up so I know I'm on the right page. I need to go down to epiglottis. Epiglottis, right? Epiglottis. Ooh, who's calling? Precision, somebody? This Jennifer?
Dear Verizon Wireless Customer, your account has been suspended for verification. To reactivate your account,
please press 1. Stuff?
To speak with a
It said Precision, so that's why I answered. The person that has my dad's old Cobra is called Precision something or another. I have no idea what the name of the car repair place is. It's funny how they catch those names and they know who we've been talking to, and then they turn it into a spam call later on in life or whatever. Drive me nuts. All right. Move that over. Get my lappy over here so we can do some questions and answers. Let me see what y'all's questions and answers were. Let's see. Where can I? Okay. Do you have a full book of everything you have? I wish. Nothing will hold that file size because we're talking 1,000 pages easy. I don't have that. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. On my website, I'm trying to bundle sections where I can do like as many as I can, like male, female, and neuro. I think I posted all 3 of those together, or it was my intention to do so. I'm not sure if I did it or not. Sorry, don't mean to be so scatterbrained, but that's my intention, is to do some bundles on that website. So for right now, I don't. It has to be per section. If a code reports imaging included, if performed, and it's not performed, do we do modifier 52? Cool question, Annie, but usually I've not seen that scenario. If imaging is included, you need to do it with your procedure if you're going to do your procedure at all, because you need that imaging to tell you where to go. It would be instead of being reduced services, I could only imagine that be a discontinued procedure scenario as a modifier 53, because they had to stop the procedure because the patient had irregular heartbeat or something that it was going to kill them if they continued and stopped it. I can't imagine them not doing a radiology on a procedure that needs it, because you don't want to go in blind. Does that make sense? Is CCS exam difficult? Yes, I believe it is a more difficult exam than a CPC, but CCS CCS also has a smaller version, which is a CCA, which I think is an easier exam than CPC. So, but nationally recognized in what American companies are looking for, they do more so generally know more about CPC through AAPC. CCA and CCS from AHIMA seems to be more of a international thing instead of locally. So I'm not sure, but just in general, and in California or Arizona or Nevada, the areas where I work currently in the industry, whether contract work or employment, everybody's wanting a CPC. It's just all anybody talks about. So that's just my general area. You'll need to do your research on what your area is wanting. But I do think the CCS exam is more difficult. You don't have to fill in the blanks, but there is more billing on it, and there is a matching game at the end of some cases where it's not A, B, C, or D, but you have 10 questions with 10 answers, and you play the matching game. I believe I would love to take that exam if they ever put it online and let you get certified online to do CCS or CCA. I haven't even researched it to see if that's available yet, but I'm assuming not. I would love to just take it, and then that would give me more feedback for you guys to see how it is. The CCS wasn't bad. Texas says you study the guide. It's very helpful. How about Oregon? So just go to Indeed, type in Oregon, and look for the keyword medical coder, and you'll see what will pop up on all the employers in that area. You'll see whether they're asking for CPC or CCS. I assume it will be CPC. You're getting your degree in billing and coding. Almost done. Awesome. Howdy, howdy, Bluebird. It's been a little while since I've seen you. It's good to see you again. Sometimes y'all are here. I just don't notice because I'm rolling and talking so much and so fast. Yep. But I remember you, Bluebird. Yeah, a lot of inpatient, a lot of hospital stuff. AAPC does too, but it's an overall coding for any kind of like doctor's office, pediatricians, in hospital. It's a good overview of everything. Hospitals do have different guidelines on certain things, so it gets pretty tricky. You've been busy. Halfway through your spring term. Awesome. So for this question, we've got a lot of the 13s. My first 13 is the 1360. What's going on with that one? 313. We in respiratory. Gotta get faster than me at finding these codes, that's for sure. 31360, what header are we under? We're under excisions. We're under the removal of a tumorous, but we're doing a laryngectomy, not an epi. So I don't think that's it. Oops, where's my drawing tool? Where's my drawing tool? I don't think layering and epiglottis is going to be the same here. The 31370? Partial? No. 31390? Fair and layer and whatever? No. So it is our 420 is our epi. There it is, down there at the bottom, all the way down there. Yep. Yep, y'all did good. Yep, perfect. So we're going to have some guidelines come up. When coding ICD-10, what is the difference between excludes 1 and excludes 2? Anybody know your differences there? How's it going? I have not checked it. I tried to go at 1 o'clock, but nobody was there. Key? I must have left it in escape. Sorry. Mailbox key. We only have one around this house, and it's always a challenge to keep up with it. I wish we could make a new one. I can't find one of those key places that will make it. So if you wanted to look up your guideline, you're going to be on G3 and G4. If you're in the 2022 book, so G3 and G4, you've got your definitions for excludes 1, not coded here, love it, la la, and then your excludes 2 means not included here. Lord, why don't they just tell us that, instead of making it all separate? So we've got some definitions here. It's hard to get them all into the screen together and get D is down here. If you're looking for things that start out the same, I like A, B, and D because they start out the same. C is just so short and useless, so that would get me down to just 50-50 on those for sure. Hey, Go-Kart, how's it going? So code means can never be used with a code. Code means can never be used with a code. Used with a code can never be used with a code listed above the excludes note. Above the note. Very small changes in between these two answers. Yep, I'd eliminate C and D. And then just take these one at a time. Excludes, 1, 1. Means, the code. Can, never, or means the code listed can never be used with a code above. The code can never be used with the code listed above the note. Ugh. So our definitions are right there on G3 and 4, very beginning. Not coded here indicates the code is excluded and should never be used at the same time as the code above the excludes 1 note. So that's awesome. Our excludes 2 means that the code can be listed or means the code is not part of the condition. So our excludes 2 over here is not part of the condition. It's not part of the condition. I'll get y'all back up there. Means it is not part of the condition. Come on. It's just a slight difference. Being able to focus on this, there you go. Exclude codes can be listed with the code above. Nope, it means the code is not part of the condition. So that's super important. Be sure you have that excludes 2 is not part of the condition, will be the difference between these answers in all of these. They put circumstances here, and then they did not put condition here under the 2. So that one part, not part of the condition, is important for that particular answer because it looks like the excludes 1 is the same thing, just mixed up just a little bit, but it says the same thing. Means the code listed is never used with the above. Yep, is never used with the code listed above. So the only thing they changed was the excludes 2, which is different in all those answers. Yeah, they scramble them up. Yeah, let me see if that's my mom. See if she needs something. Hang on, how's she going? How's it going? Really good. I watched that maroon couch cover, but he went to sleep on the couch, and I didn't want to mess with him, so I kind of laid it over him, and he still. Sorry, guys. I had to say hello to my mom. She walked in and had questions. Sorry about that. I know these wordy ones are awful. Awful questions, but the good thing is you won't have too many. No more than, 4 or 5 on the exam. Which of the following is not what a 7th character, 0, can be assigned for in Chapter 15 of the ICD-10 book? So we're going to be talking about another guideline that, I would move from its position, which is on G21. So if we go to the G21 page, we're talking about the 7th character here, and we do have some 7th character descriptions here. And I would move that to the beginning of Chapter 15 in the ICD-10 book, where the codes begin for that section. So I don't have this done yet, which I should, but I don't. What I would do is, Lord, I gotta hold up 2 pieces of paper. So I don't know if I can do this, but so I would move this guideline from G21 to page 901, because you don't have a lot of time to go from G21 and review guidelines. You should go on and go write them at the CPT code level, because the ICD-10 questions are going to be in the ICD-10 question form, and you'll better know where that guideline is if you just write the beginning of OB and delivery. Anyway, I think it's helpful. Get that there. So which one will be our 0 7th character? Sorry, yeah, the wording is tricky on that excludes 1 and excludes 2, but we know that AAPC likes to just mingle up the excludes 2 wording, so make sure you know exclude 2 equals condition. If you look for the answer that has excludes 2 and the word condition together, you know that's the correct answer. That's helpful. On this one, it's G20 for the 2021 book. Thanks so much, Meg. That's awesome. And then your chapter 15 will start on page 901 in the 2022 book, but that's just the female OB section. So what does the 0 mean for a 7th character? And our question is actually asking us, which of the following is not? So you're looking for the wrong answer. So which one is not part of where the 7th character is described? Your 7th character is described for single gestations, when documentation is insignificant, and it's not possible to clinically determine which fetus is affected. So that only leaves one option, which is diabetes. Yep. Yep. Very good. So I was just thinking about that. So I was thinking, ooh, we got mail. Page 901 is what I was thinking. We could move that guideline to. So if you're in the 2021 book, we would go to the very beginning of the O sections. Somewhere around there. Yep, 901. What do we get? Oh man, you did. Tropical coconut, sweet honey, yep. And I think it's the coconut lime I like. Yeah. Cool, thank you. Chapstick time. Sorry. 7th character, page. Our codes start there. Well, we don't have any 7th characters listed until what? We've got this note page on the opposite side, right on page 900. It is a note page. We could move that 7th character paragraph right there that says the 7th character for fetus identification. CHAR. And then I need to write the 3 things that are there, but that's what I was thinking. We're here at chapter 15. We could use this note page. We could write our 7th character is for fetus identify. There's 3 different things. I'll change my color and write those down, which are there on our G whatever. And we'll put single gestation, insufficient records, and then undetermined fetus affected. Something abbreviated right there. That way we've got it and it's moved to this section. It's just hard to do it during the live. Does that make sense? That's how I would shorten it. For right now, I've got 7th character for fetus identify, and then I would shorten the 3 little reasons. Number 1 is single gestation. 2 is for insufficient records. 3 is for not able to determine which fetus is affected. I don't know how to shorten that off the top of my head right now, but yeah, when you're not able to determine which fetus is being affected by whatever condition, yeah, that's how I'd write that. You're welcome, Tiff. Yep. All right. Place of service. This ought to be easy peasy for you guys. Where is the ER. It's one of your very first pages in the CPT book, in the very beginning of the book. I think yep, 23 is correct. 23 is so correct. Good job. All right, HipPix modifiers. Which one of the modifiers stands for the left main coronary artery? Do you know where you would find it at? And how long would it take you to find that modifier? Did you know there was a modifier for the left main coronary artery in the HipPix book? We do have A, B, C, and D, which is helpful because that would take you a long time to figure it out. If you didn't at least have that, then you can go from one to the other one. We know our QS is for anesthesia, right? We know our QW is for the CLIA waiver. I have it written down on my cheat sheet in my CPT book. So I know it's between an LM and a KX. So if you look in your HipPix book, if you have the 2022 book, you're going to be on page 500. But this is one you can also add to our little cheat sheet of the front cover of our CPT book. Cats, be nice. We're talking left main coronary artery. Kind of makes sense that LM means it. Left main coronary artery. So our front cover of the CPT book, I've got a couple of add-ons that I did. The GA for the ABN, the QW for the CLIA waiver, Q6 for Dr. Gone on vacation. We have somebody filling in. I put LM there now too. So that's helpful just to have them listed in one place. Word search those, sorry. Every time I put this phone back up here, it goes to Bixby. I wish I could just delete that thing. While we're in the HipPix book, let's go to page 429 of the 2022 HipPix book. Sorry, I don't know what it is in the 2021, but we'll figure it out. So I'm on page 429. And we're looking at I think we're looking at, yes, this table of drugs and biologicals for our next question. Interesting table. And we're not going to be looking up a drug, but we are going to be looking up an abbreviation. So what does the abbreviation VAR mean? Thank you, Lindsay. You're awesome. Your book only has 200 pages. Oh my, Annie. Some of these HitPick versions, like when they come from Optum or from AMA Direct, they're all in different setups, like complete different setups. It's insane. But yeah, we're looking for the definition of VAR. And in this 2022 version of the AAPC's HitPick's book, up above the table of drugs, there's an abbreviations used for drug administration, and you can look up VAR, which is in the third column, right there, for various routes of administration. They have those listed right there above this. So very neat. We know we have in the back of our CPT book a abbreviation thing on our back cover. We can look up VAR and see if it's in here. They have varicella listed. Is that what we were doing? Yeah, and then they're saying VAR here means various routes of administration. So they have a different definition in the back of the CPT book. So we could add that one here so we can keep abbreviations all in the one thing. Everybody that was taking the exam B this weekend, man, would have been a good weekend to take it. If they actually ended up giving everybody the B1 exam this weekend, that's one of the easier exams versus the C. And God, I hope they don't give that out next weekend. JVD was on it, and something else was on it. ARDS was on it too. But we can add our VARS on it too. Probably, I need to think about Travis and James will be home this summer. They're right at 13. They don't have jobs this summer, and then I don't think they can attend summer school because we are going out of town the very first week, and they start summer school, like they get out of school on Friday and summer school starts on Monday. And if they don't attend that first day, they don't allow them to go to summer school. So it's like they gave them no time. I mean, I don't even know why they do that, but anyway, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with them with all the interruptions. So I'm going to try to limit my tutoring down because the boys are here, and it's stressful when they're here. Plus I got to work, and then tutor, and yeah, it's a lot. I could put them in Boys and Girls Club or something like that on certain days. That just runs the risk if they don't behave, I have to go get them. It's not like they're forced to keep them like the school is. So they got to be on their best behavior if they got a Boys and Girls Club. The list of abbreviations on Discord, I'm not sure. It should be in CPT book prep room or anatomy. Betty handled that and posted it. Maybe some of the other girls that are in there all the time remember where she posted it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I let her run with it and I didn't follow that trend. I just keep telling her when I find new ones and she adds it to the list. So I'm sorry. I can't keep up with it all, but I feel very scatterbrained today. Hey, Sammy, Sam, you want some num-nums? I gotta feed my cat. He's sitting here staring at me. I know it's for family, but I gotta help you guys. I cannot handle you guys not passing over and over again. It's just so stressful and so sad to see when if AAPC had been doing their job and providing a good course worth the money, you would be able to pass the exam because the course would have prepared you for that certification exam. But it's totally different and does not help you pass the certification exam. So it's so hard to walk away from all this, for sure. Let's see. This is a cool one. We do have a guideline tied to this one. It should be their goal. I mean, if you're going to charge someone $6,000 for a medical coding course, the course should prepare them for their certification exam, right? I think it should. I don't know. Maybe I'm foolish. I don't know. Hey PJ, how's it going? Got an extra live here for you guys. My boys are at a birthday party, so I am hanging out so quiet and solo at the house. So which of the following is part of a trauma wound exploration? So we're looking for the correct answer. There are guidelines. You can find those guidelines on page 140 of the CPT book if you're in the 2022 book, actually. Colleges are required to fail so many students. Wow. But they boast an 80% pass rate. And just looking at that Facebook group and watching the daily fails and so much time and effort and family lost time, money, it's just devastating to watch. I don't know how they watch that. I don't know. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. But I know they are nice in the fact that they let us retake the exam. I mean, they could put restrictions that you got to wait a year and force you to take other courses or something. So at least you can just pay for the exam and retake it as many times as you can. I'm just trying to make it a little easier. Hey, Kim. How's it going? It's good to see you. Well, I am happy to help. So on page 140, we have the guideline for penetrating wounds right there. So their question is, which of the following is part of the trauma of exploring wounds? Is it fine needle aspiration? That sounds silly. A simple repair of a wound, not requiring wound enlargement. I remember there being something about wound enlargement with gunshot wounds, something in the guidelines. Debridement, I think debriefment's included in any kind of wound, right? And then muscle biopsy, no, that's not part of a trauma. So I would have it between B and C What do you guys think? Anytime, go-kart. Anytime. Happy to help. Y'all are liking C? Y'all are right. Good job. These questions are from our certification company, and they are about their guidelines. So, very cool. Which section in the CPT book uses time as one of the main factors? E&M is not here, so dang it. Out of the answers provided, of course, if you'll turn to page 76 and 77 of the 2022 book, you'll find out where the guideline is for this. 76 and 77, we have time being reported for, yes, anesthesia. Time can be a factor in lab and path. Some of the tests are like glucose tolerance test, or you have to be very specific when you draw those bloods. You got to bump other patients out of the way if it's that patient's time. So you are technically correct if you did pick lab and path, but the best answer as far as the entire section, for the entire section as a main factor for the entire section, the better answer is anesthesia, because time does affect all of the codes in that area, where in lab and path it does only affect just a few of the codes. Thank you, Megs, for the info on which page it is in the 2021 books. Y'all are just invaluable to each other. That's just amazing. Thank you, Jack in the Box. You're always gifting. I appreciate that. I see you do that often. That money will go to giving somebody some free sections of the book. Once I figure out how to download it. And now that I've got 10,000 followers, I believe they bumped me up from 10 to 15% of that to 40%. So I'm not sure if I got to do anything there, but I'll figure it out. So all of the following are considered part of a global package except. So you're looking for a wrong answer. Those are so hard. I hate those. So which one is a wrong answer? Your guideline for a global package is in your CPT book, and in the 2022 book, it's on page 88. If you needed to review that. Looks like everybody's picking B. And all of you are wrong. Why don't we try again? Y'all know they come out. That surgeon comes out every time and tells you about how your patient did during the surgery. Every time they come out there in that waiting room. So think about your own medical experiences on this. That is included. And your guideline is on page 88. Dictating your operative note, wouldn't that be included? If you're going to do surgery on a patient and you're getting paid for that surgery, do you get paid extra to write down what you did? We're looking for the wrong answer, something that is not included in a global package. That is included in a global package. That's included. So is talking to the family. That's included. Where's Mean at? I'm looking for her. Finally, yes. Taking a history on a patient you already did surgery on is foolishness. That's silly. You should have already done that in your pre-op. So that's just kind of messing with you in a play on word. You think history and physical is always included, but that's for a pre-op. They changed the wording back here after surgery. You should have already taken a patient's history before you even did a surgery. So that's A is the answer. Yes, it's all about the wording. And it's not assuming what the sentence says in running. You got to slow down and make sure that's what the sentence said. Very tricky. I like it when everybody gets something wrong. Then I feel like I can teach y'all something. And then y'all won't make it get wrong during your certification exam. Y'all will be able to get it 100% correct. That'd be awesome. All right, our next one. So if another intravenous ultrasound was done at the same time as another procedure like a repair of the descending thoracic aorta, how should it be billed? Are you going to bill things? This is a good question. It's going to be tough. Can they not be billed together? Is it considered part of the repair? Should it be reported separately? Or should it be reported with that modifier 59? Please look in Discord under med terms. Oh, for the abbreviation, Betty posted it there. That's awesome. Thank you, Twinkle. So I've got B and D on this one. If another intravascular ultrasound is done at the same time as an endovascular repair of the descending thoracic aorta, how should it be billed? They can't be done at the same time on the same patient in the same day, so you're saying just don't do it if y'all are saying A. B says they are considered part of a repair. Ultrasound is part of a repair. Maybe if it was a guiding something, I don't know about being part of a repair. Should be reported separately or can be billed with the repair, but we just need the 59 modifier. So we're going to have guidelines on page 273 of the 2022 book. The guideline is going to be under the endovascular repair of the descending aorta. It talks about fluoroscope guidance over here. Where's ultrasound? Where is ultrasound? Thank you, Megs. 274 on the CPT book for 2021. I'm trying to read the guidelines, sorry. So it says, for fluoroscope guidance in conjunction with an endovascular repair, see codes blah blah. Blah and blah codes include the angiography. So they're switching for us, but I'm looking for ultrasound. Where would ultrasound be? Last paragraph before it goes green. Intervention procedures. So other interventional procedures performed at the time. Oh, wow. So they consider an intravascular ultrasound as just a other intervention procedures. So you could put AKA right above this sentence, intravascular ultrasound right there. Nice. Very good call, Lindsay. That's awesome. Should be additionally reported. See, yep, there's intravascular ultrasound. It's the last word in that parenthetical that I actually have underlined right there. If performed before or after the deployment of the aortic. So what does it say? How does it say to report it? Should be additionally reported. It doesn't say to use the modifier. If it wanted us to use the 51 modifier, it would tell us here. It just says should be reported. So we can't use A, which says cannot be done together. We can't do that. It says are considered part. Nope, it's not considered part. Can be billed. And it does not say we can use a modifier. So the only answer that it could be, because we can easily exclude the rest off that paragraph, is it just simply say it should be reported separately. Nice. Holy crap. What a terrifying question. And how to find that answer there in the middle of the exam when you have no CPT codes to run to. So, terrifying question. But we can make notes. We can star it. We can learn it today and know how to code it since we saw it ahead of time. So that is awesome. C is your answer for sure. Yep. Are y'all tired of guidelines yet? I've got like a million of these tonight. I don't want to wear y'all out. Y'all be like, oh, this was painful. But we are getting a little bit lower scores in some of the breakdowns on the guidelines, so I was happy to find these. And they're not the same ones in practice exams A, B, C, D, E, and F, which I've done. So it's good that I found them because they're still from AAPC, but they're just not going to be out there where everybody can find them. So I was wrong on page 2021. Okay, it can be found on page 266 at the top of the second column. Thanks, Meg. Better to hurt now. Yep. Pull that Band-Aid now. That is a terrible question. I would have never known where to even find it because I guess you would have to go to the back of the book in the alphabetical index. You would have to look up the endovascular repair of the thoracic aorta, which would have gotten you to this page. So it would have gotten you to the CPT code 33880, and then you would have had to figure out where ultrasound was in that guideline. Whew. All right. What is one of the criteria that must be met in order for a coder to bill a chronic care management service? This seems like it should be fairly easy. Let's see. To bill a chronic care management service. So keep that in mind. Patient must have confirmed case of a mental illness. Does that make sense? For a chronic care management service, we're not going to pick on one systematic disease or illness. It would be lots of things could be chronic, so that makes no sense. Patient must have gone through some doctor within 5 years and treated for the same condition. I don't know about that either. Patient 5 years. They're even considered a new patient at 3 years. So that sounds like a bunch of hogwash, doesn't it? Okay. Patient must have been discharged. I hate all these must-haves. Must-haves are just like very direct. From an extended inpatient stay. No, you don't. You can have a chronic condition and never have gone to the hospital, so it must be D. Whatever D is. If I've read 3 and I know they're all hogwash, I'm not even going to read D. I would just circle it and move on. But D does say something about in the last year. It must last. What? Disease must last at least 12 months or until the death of the patient. To be chronic, it has to last 12 months. That's interesting. I didn't know that. A chronic, you have to have, I don't know if I've diagnosed pediatric patients with chronic otitis media, but I didn't make them wait a year before we diagnosed them with that. Our guideline is going to be on page 65 of the 2022 book. Page 65. But I guess, yeah, principal care management. I mean, we don't really do, I guess we're not talking about a diagnosis. We're talking about care management for a care plan for high-risk diseases. Yeah. Put myself into pediatrics again. This would be more like a internal medicine. Yeah. Hey, Betty. You know, we did care management on peds that had chronic otitis media. We would give them a low-dose antibiotic for a year, every day for a whole year. Or up to 6 months, actually, for 6 months. And that time gave that child a time to get rid of the infection for 6 whole months. They usually had a growth spurt by then, and then that would make their eustachian tube start working properly because they were without an infection for a whole 6 months. Their bodies grew naturally, and then it gave them time for their ears to catch up with the rest of their head, and I don't know. It worked out good, but we had to check their livers and make sure that they didn't have bad reactions to the long-term use of antibiotics. But it was a super low dose every day. But anyway, when I think of care management, I'm still in my peds uniform. So the 12 months thing was like, what? But our guideline is on page 65. In 64 for our chronic care management services. And it does state, and I have it highlighted, at least the last 12 months or until death of the patient. So it's right there. You've got page 66, something on that one too, probably. Code 8787. It says 12 months too, probably. Yep, at last 12 months or until death of the patient. Awesome. In 2 places of our books. Good job. I only knew of that one. So very good job. We can red underline those little sentences because we know they could possibly be a question on the exam. So that's super handy dandy. Who was Fidea? She was yelling at me this week because I'm always updating my notes, because by the time she tutors with me and she sees what's in my notes for like E&M, I've made additional notes since she purchased them. So I'm like always doing that. I'm finding more and more stuff. Oh, I need to do like updates to those things and post more information up as the months go by, but I haven't even finished the whole entire book yet. I've still got to finish lab and path and medicine before I can start putting up like version B or version C of each section or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't mean to add more notes, but it'll only make next year's notes better for next year's people that are working through this and trying to get through the exam. Oh, good Lord. What are those cats doing? Morbidity in an obese patient undergoes a gastric sleeve procedure. Very cool. So, oh yeah, we got CPT codes. I should have looked at those first. And we should have already looked those up. I thought this was another guideline question, but maybe we're done with those. Whew. That was enough to stress me out. Maybe we can move on to some integumentary and other ones. So if I was doing this question, it'd have to be between the 2 B and C. And just knowing that we would probably add a P3 to it, I would pick B and move on because those two are the same. Yep. What is 00797? We love our little condition codes and stuff over there. 00797. Gastric restrictive procedure for morbidity patient. Morbid, not morbidity. Morbid obesity. Oh my gosh, that's terrible to have to say. Yep. So if this was my question, I would just pick B and move on without looking. We are on page 80 of the 2022 CPT book. You're testing Monday and you're so nervous. Don't be nervous. Please just keep listening to these lives. Listen to the little bit of advice you get from here. There's a lot of cool things like the 17 code. If you ever see that ending on an E&M question for one code, for a 213 or a 214, they never go together. You can always eliminate those. The 17 code always goes with the 15 or your 05. That's handy dandy stuff. You just eliminate all of this mess. You ever see a 17, it always goes with one of those two codes. That's handy. We don't do reduced services in integumentary. Sometimes the modifiers can help you out. Let's go straight to our CPT codes and look at these before we look at our question. I think I would like the 80 and 81 if I was doing this question. We're doing a simple IND of a polycyst. I remember this one. I'm thinking it's the first CPT code there, 10080. Is that it? Is that it? 10080, 10080. Right in our very beginning section. Yep, we've got our poly, which is the bottom of our coccyx, right? So we've got the IND is the first one, and then our complicated one is always our second one. Usually the easiest things are first, and then the complicated ones are second. So that's super easy. Very good. Flawless Beauty. I failed it twice. My last exam was on the 14th. You had exam version C. That's an awful test. That test is horrifyingly scary. It's awful. I have that one listed under what was on the exam in the last 45 days. Exam C is by far the worst. I like exam B. It's awesome. Yes, I do. I need to post Fridays live on YouTube because it was really good. Somebody is testing on Saturday. Lots of people are testing on Saturday. So is Miss Edwards too. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of you testing this week. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Be sure and get your breakdowns of your score so you know exactly what sections you did not do well in. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It's super helpful. Yes, we did have an 80 on that one. We're on page 95 of the 2022 CPT book. And try to cover up the question for a minute, and let's just look at our codes. So if I was faced with these codes, I would know, yeah, it's going to be a difference between the 60, 80, and 40, just those. I wouldn't worry about the B at all. Yep. I think those codes are on 123. Yep. Of the 2022 CPT book, maybe. Yep, 40, 60, and 80 are all next to each other. One of them is freezy. That one's freezing. This is chemical. And then this is electro. So super easy. They all have very distinct differences. So all we got to do is check our question for cryo, chemical, or electro. So yep, we're doing chemical. So that matches with our 60. I would pick 60 and move on to my next question. That's awesome. I should let y'all do one instead of me sitting here monopolizing the questions. Here you go. See if I can't get this all into one screen. Uh-oh. And just let y'all haggle it out. What would you do first? What do you think the answer might end up being? Just looking at the numbers. Don't look at the question yet. Never the 99. There you go. Something you can get rid of. So what would you keep and what would you throw away on this question? Just looking at the codes. Don't be looking at the question yet. Yep, keep C and D, and your only difference in that is whether you would use the 50 modifier or not. So what does your CPT code say? or your descriptor. The 19307, is it unilateral, bilateral? Would it be a bilateral procedure? Do you have two of those? Is that what 50 is? Yes, 50 is bilateral. We can go up here, look at our question. We do have bilateral in our question. Do we have any information at all that says the CPT code descriptor doesn't say anything about being both, right? Or bilateral? 1703. Hua. 19307. There is So if we're on page 127, your guideline is on 127, but it's the fourth and third paragraphs on that page on the first column, but your code is on the second column at the very bottom. We've got it right here that says right here to report bilaterally, report with the 50 modifier. That's your guideline. We could move that to these codes if bilateral, add modifier 50, which I should do to that one. I should update that so we don't have to remember to go over here. But you could do that to each one of those codes for all of them, from the 00 all the way to the 307. You could write that they're all unilateral, and then if bilateral, use mod 50. We should add that to all of those. I don't have any of that written down. But yes, C is our answer. Add 52 codes. 9300 through 19307. All my notes to do. Okay. How much more time do we have, Twinkle? Is it time to get out the wine yet? Is it time to get out the wine? I bet go-kart's already been hitting it. It's Saturday night. Let's see. It's 7 o'clock my time. 15 more minutes. Heck yeah. It's time for me to get out the wine. It's 7 o'clock my time, so it must be 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock your guys' time. Oh my. It's so late. Always. Every time I get on. I'll be glad when it time changes back so that I'm only 2 hours difference from a lot of you guys. I like, oh God, there we go. So let's get this one out. So if y'all have never had any of those, I am like, I bet I can't show that, but these little suckers are awesome. Just awesome. A little bit of liquid goes a long way. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Let's go to our next one. Where's my next question? Oh. Here we go. Have we already done this one? Seems like another similar question that I've done before, but not sure. I don't think so. Which of the following circumstances would not call for debridement? Have y'all had those little things? Yeah, I like going, if I'm going to do it, I go in 100%. No matter what I'm doing, It's not going to sip around and take a long time. I'm there to get it done. Wide awake. Yay, Betty. Awesome. They are strong. Y'all are funny. I didn't think y'all would react. That's funny. But yes, I don't play. Whatever I do it 100% all the way. Super fast. I don't, taking this CPC exam, everything I'm trying to teach y'all is to be more efficient and fast way to get to the answer. I don't like to lollygag around. That's how I do my life. I love those things. Go big or go home. Get her done. Yep, that's right. That's absolutely. Which one would not be called in which circumstance would not call for a debriefment? God, I hate the wording of that question. I can't talk that way. Everything is y'all this, or I have different phonetics than the questions do. But yeah, we're definitely going to debrief an infection. We're going to debrief an injury. An ulcer is going to get tons of debriefment. The guideline for this is on page 95. We go to, I hope this is helpful, finding y'all where the guideline is. So we've got debriefment guideline. I've written all over this book, but debriefment guideline right here. And it should tell us there also which ones we would not use it on. And yep, the answer is fracture. We do have some CPT codes here that will be fracture related in this area. Just be very careful. Our 11000 is for infected skin. Our 11004 is for dead tissue. Our 11010 is for debriefment of fractures, actually. And then we have the differences between sub-Q, muscle, and bone after that. So our 11042 is for sub-Q, our 11043 is for muscle, and 11044 is for bone. So we technically do have debriefment for fractures. Don't really like this question, but it is one of their questions. Which answer is most likely the best answer? It's definitely A, but you can do it. There are codes. So, tricky question still, if you're stressed and not paying attention. Or if you're a stickler for what's right and wrong, you might get that one wrong too. Let me get this down to just the CPT codes. Okay. If you were just looking at the CPT codes, where are you going to run to? Yep. Thank you, PJ, for the 91 page, where the definition of that is. Y'all think I'm talkative now. Wait till one of these things hits. I'm super talkative then. Yeah, I like B and C too. They're both in the 80s. 20s is way far away. 90s is way far away. So we're going to be page 118, I think. This takes longer to prep, but it's nice to show y'all where the guidelines are, if there's any related to these. So our 80 and 88, right? 157. 80 is dermabrasion. 88 is a chemical peel. I need one of those. Let's all take a trip to Vegas and get chemical peels and fuzzy balls, right? That would be a fun thing to do. Have a Coating by Jen weekend or something in Vegas. So she is going to get a chemical. Don't forget, if you're taking your exam in person, please write all over the book. When you find the CPT codes, don't just run to them and find them. Be sure to write down the differences. This one was abrasion, so abrasion, and this one was chemical. So do that. Write it down. That way you don't have to go back to the CPT book to verify you got the right answer. Just bring over your bubble sheet. Slide that over because it's going to be on a separate piece of paper, and then bubble in your right answer. Chemical is C. And find you the biggest, fattest kindergarten pencil that you can find. Don't bring a mechanical pencil to bubble in. It'll just take you longer. So find something that's got a fat tip, like an architect's pencil, anything. This is a highlighter, but architects have pencils that look like this that you can, that have, even those 99-cent stores, big old fat, huge kindergarten pencils, they have bigger leads. The less time you're spent bubbling in stuff matters. I had one person who did their bubbles like this. They just put a bubble in the center. They didn't know they needed to fill in the whole circle. So they just noted the middle of each one. So know that you need to fill in the entire circle and make it dark. So just be sure and know you need to color in that whole thing, and it slows you down. So get a big old fat pencil. I don't know what she got scored. She contacted me and asked me my opinion on that, and I'm like, I don't know what they'll do. I have no idea if that will scan and pick up, so I don't know. I'm hoping everything turned out all right for her. Get rid of the question and get down here to just the answers. Okay, there we go. Where are our codes? I would be running probably to the 65 and 50 because they're closer. I don't know. Maybe even the 20 and the 50. Let's see where they're at. I start out with my 50. 17. No, 11,750. 11,750. 750. Toenail removal. Yes, we're on page 105. And 50 is my toenail. So anytime they're doing an ingrown toenail, the answer is always 50. So be sure you have some notes down beside 50 for that. 20 is debridement, which they've been doing a lot of lately. 65 is our wedge. So even if you're taking the test at home, you've got that dry erase board that's beside you. Go on and write A, B, C, and D down on your dry erase board, and then just leave them there. Then the stuff that you would write, we're not including A in this question, so I wouldn't write anything there, but I would put a wedge here, debridement here, and I would put ingrown under D. And then when you get done with it, just use your eraser and just erase the answers. but leave your A, B, and C and D there as always, and then just write down your one-word differences. That way you're not going back and forth between your CPT book and the question. You want to look up these codes one time, grab your one-word difference, and move on. And yeah, like my notes have, they have a ton of stuff in them, but what you really want is that one-word difference. I have wedge here, I have ingrown nail here, and then I have the debridement here. So just grab your one word and write it down, and don't look back at that CPT book. And then you go look at your question. We do have an ingrown toenail, and we did do a wedge. So you know your wedge. Yep. Oh, this one always confuses everybody. So I am not going to say a word. I'm going to see if y'all have listened to me, because it's a new question about a tricky set of CPT codes that I've discussed a couple of times, but it's a new question in this area that I've never done. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let y'all do it. So y'all tell me what the answer is. Betty, you okay? I'm sorry. 65 is an ingrown nail too, but it's a wedge. And I have the note. It's also an ingrown nail. So we had 2 ingrown nails. One of them was a total excision. The other one was just a wedge where they remove a corner of it. I had this done where they take and remove that wedge, but they leave the middle part of the nail. It's like medieval torture. Okay, here you go. There's your next question. You're doing some times in, Betty? She says B. Anybody want to agree with her? We're on page 121 of the CPT book. When is Betty going to take her exam? When is Betty or Twinkle going to tutor with me, by the way? I owe y'all tons of sessions. Y'all need to schedule some time, and I'll do some practices with you. Never. Am I that intimidating? Really? Y'all haven't even met me in person yet. So first thing I do with these questions is find out how many procedures am I doing, because I might need 2 different CPT codes. So the patient, blah, 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 I could care less. We have 4 premalignant lesions, right? Is there anything else? And they destroy them. There's nothing else. So they were only dealing with one particular lesion, which is premalignant, which is your AKs, or premalignants on this page, in case you don't have notes beside them, are the 17000 with the 03, also the 04. Those are all premalignant. They're also called AK. The benign lesions are the 106, 107, 108. The 110 is also benign, but they're warts. They're more like viral. So the 110 and the 111 are benign, but they're viruses, sort of. Would you do a tutor session with me when I'm ready to take the exam? I'm nervous about it. Absolutely. You can schedule that anytime at the medicalcodingbyjen.com. Go to, is it booking? And you can schedule that anytime. If a date and time is not convenient for you that I have open, go on and book what's open. Message me there. Say, I really want this day at this time. Are you available? And I'll work around your schedule and try to get you in that day. I really want one Saturday a month to hang out with the boys because we work and go to school every day, Monday through Friday. And I never get to go out and have fun with them. And I don't like to go out on Sundays. That's my rest and laundry day. So, other than that, I don't mind doing 3 Saturdays a week at home. Because I'm a homebody anyway. Maybe I could talk Betty and Twinkle into doing a combo session with me. Maybe if y'all were together during a tutoring session before y'all's certification exam, y'all could tutor together so you wouldn't be all intimidating. Happy to help. My calendar's up there. Betty is correct with her B. So this equals 1 lesion. This equals 3. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. So I like to just count these and see what answers these equal up to. The 104 would be 15 to infinity and beyond. It would do, 9 million lesions, whatever. It just never ends. This one would mean nothing because we can't use that modifier. And then this would mean 1 lesion there. Yeah, that's a coding irregularity. We would never code those two together. So if you ever see your 17004 with 17000 through 17003, there's a do not parenthetical down underneath there that you would not code those together. So D you could eliminate by that. That modifier you would never do. So it would only be a difference between 15 and infinity or adding up those to equal 4. And we did do 4. What do you mean, Lala, about surgery anesthesia crosswalk book? 2 parent codes. Very good. That also is true. I know that CCS gets really involved with that PSC codes or PCS codes. Surgery and anesthesia together, I can absolutely do surgeries with their anesthesia and their modifiers. It's just not a question that they would ask on the CPC exam. Which certification are you going for, Lala, that you would need to know how to do the crosswalk book? Which certification? Because I have the CRC, the COC, the CPB, the CIC, CPC, cardiology, anesthesia, OB, family practice. All of those certifications, practice exam questions available that I can pull and do tutoring with. Just let me know what certification you're going for where you would need to know how to use that crosswalk book. Because the crosswalks in my field are done with the EHR and we don't need to. CANPC. Yes, I can do that. I can. Yep. Those questions are very involved and long. It kind of looks like this debriefment area. They're going to have different blocks for different subjects. And you're filling in the claim based off your CPT for your surgery, based off your CPT for your anesthesia. And they have this block diagram just like that. Yeah, I can teach that. Yep. All right. Get off of there. Skip this one. That one's going to be too easy. Going to be too easy. This one. What are we keeping and what are we throwing away? Or back to our debriefment. Yep, I keep B and C too. What's our differences? 20 is foreign body. 21 is foreign body too, but it's deep inside the subcutaneous level, more complicated, where 21 is just simple underlying tissue, where 21 is deep in the subcutaneous level. So let's check out our question. Removal of glass. They don't say where the glass is located, but the word that they do use is complicated. So that's fairly easy. Fairly easy. I wish they would have said it was underlying areas, but since they did use the word complicated, I would pick B. Just a match, word match. Yep, 21. I wish all the questions were that easy. They're not. All right. Oops, I keep showing you all the answers. Gotta not do that. Okay. How about this one? Same areas. So our 81 and 86 and then our 0005 and our 0021. It's kind of like, what's our 1900s? So our 00s are under like fine needle aspirations and simple incision and drainages. Our 1900s are under what header? 19. The header, of course, is not on there. We got the breast. Yeah. Breast issues. We're doing breast biopsies and stuff. So, should be fairly easy. We're doing fine needle aspiration. That's the first codes in the book in integumentary. So, I know we're not doing any breast. We're somewhere around in there. Yeah. 0021. Well, I don't know. 10021. Where the heck is that code? Did it get deleted? But that's crazy. So like 1121, where I'm getting these from is right here, and I'm not changing the answers. All I do is copy paste. I wouldn't have changed it at all. And then when you pick out your answer, you can see your explanation over here to the side, and it tells you what page number it's on. So that's kind of cool, but very interesting. They must have a typo over on it. Let's see. I'm there. Interesting. But I definitely would not have changed that on their end. Very cool. All right. Our question is fine needle aspiration, which is our C, right? No D. Page 93. Well, now we can eliminate it. 93. It's our first code, silly, in our integumentary section. It was right. Y'all got me. I done had a sip of this buzzball, and y'all are going to drive me to changing codes. It's our very first one in surgery. But yes, we do have a 12 over here too. After it. It's just out of sequence because it's before all the other ones. I don't know. Why do they start out with the 0021 and then move you to the 004, then move you to the 005? They're putting... Anyway. Yeah, it's out of whack. We're on page 93, Shell. Page 93. Lord. You got me second guessing my copy paste skills. That's our fine needle aspiration without any guidance at all. There's no guidance. Where the next bundle is with ultrasound, our next bundle is with fluoroscope, our next bundle is with CT, and then our next bundle is MRI. So those are all cool. We don't add any billing or add anything to them. This one is our one code. Maybe they'll fix it in the 2023. I think they'll just make it more confusing and add in some more codes. That's why you got to get in good practice. That is one for the books. You know, I keep saying I want to make up a list of CPT codes where the only purpose of this list is to go find the code as fast as you can and time yourself. You have 10 seconds to find each code or something. That would be a good one to add to the list. So, fine needle aspiration without any ultrasound or guidance whatsoever is our fancy dancy D. And we won't forget that code during our CPC exam. That's for sure. We will have it. Here we go. Our next question. I miss talking to you, Betty. All right. I'll get all sentimental now that I'm Where's my drawing tool? Okay. I agree. I like the 30 and the 38. 47 could be a contender. It's in the same area, plus it's part of B. So I like those three. We are going to be on page 118. What's our differences? Our 30. It's an excision. 47 is also an excision, but both are excessive tissue, so that's cool. I got some in the parentheses I didn't highlight in this section. It's driving me nuts, and I'm going through here highlighting, fixing my mistakes. Tattoo removal, I did not have it highlighted. Ugh, the shame. Okay. So let's see what our question's about. I wish extreme weight loss. Which one is our lipectomy? They're not removing the lip of the patient. They're just removing excessive skin of the abdominal area, which we girls call our little flappy flap. Yeah. B. We're going to have 2 codes for this surgery. That is unusual, but it is an add-on code. It does not have the word each in the CPT code descriptor, so we don't times this one. Somebody's shooting fireworks or shooting a gun off in the backyard. Not our yard, but one of the neighbors' yards. We do have abdomen right there. We're so residential too. They should not be doing that. Y'all are going to flip out because I know a lot of y'all are in different time zones. Look, it's still sunny outside. It's not even dark out there. My window is so dirty because the kids were splashing in the hot tub last night, and they got my windows all dirty. I got to wash them now, but it is still sunny here in Arizona. It's better than looking at the back end of 13-year-olds like I was last night. I'll take a dirty window. You are correct. It is B. We did 2 codes, which is unusual for them, but that is an add-on code for the abdomen. And they did go excessive. Our 30 I'm just wondering how you would know to add those 2 together instead of only doing the 30. Is 30 an option? 30 is not an option by itself. So that's handy. They both say abdomen. But I'm just wondering, what if 30 was one of our answers by itself? How would we know the difference? Look at the parenthetical. It says do not. It says to use 47 with 30. Very good, Betty. That's awesome. I need to move that underneath our 30 because our 30 just looks so low. I can't reach all the book all the way over there. It looks so low. I wish it had it also under the 30 because having it under the 47 is fine and dandy, but I would want to move that over there. Yep. Yep. Use with. There we go. Now I got it in both places. That way we'll see it the next time, just in case. Yeah, I don't like it only being on 47 because if it was just an option of 30, I might not look at 47 because it's an add-on code. And it looks like that the 30 takes care of that procedure with excessive skin of the abdominal area, all in that CPT code descriptor. It has all three of those situations in that CPT code descriptor: excessive skin, abdominal, and excision. Why would I think to add the 47? Why would I even look over there at that code? So, yeah. I'm going to write it in both places. Staple surgery. Inflammable paniectomy. That's what you're saying is the difference. But the 47 doesn't say staple. Lipectomy. They both have lipectomy in them. Okay. You got to be very careful because we've got the 100 here versus the OOs. So possibly C and D, right? That's where I would go to first. Where is our 1900 code? We're on 123. So we have a, oh, the 01 is an add-on code. So we would not use that one for anything. So I just pick D as my answer and move on to my next question. But has other things like shifter for the tummy tuck, staple sun. Could be, Betty. I'd have to define every single one of those surgery words that's in the add-on code. And on the primary one, I just figure it doesn't hurt. Go on and write that parenthetical with the main mama code, and that way you've got it. So I would pick D without even looking at the question. Let's look at the question. We do have a puncture aspiration assist, which is exactly what the 1900 code is. What do you guys think? Am I getting B? B? No. The 100, the 19100 is breast biopsy. We're not doing a biopsy, we're doing a puncture aspiration. Yep, yep. D is your answer. Very good. Okay, what about these codes? What are y'all keeping? What are you throwing away? Whoops, sorry. 118. I like the 51 and the 52. Our differences are a different MD on the suture removal versus a dressing change. Very weird. Patient undergoes a bandage change. To be under anesthesia for a dressing change? Oh my. Yep. 52 has under anesthesia, other than local anesthesia, and other than burns. Yep. Looks like it goes along with it quite well. There we go. Let's see, 112. Where are we at? 11. The 11200 is twice, where the 113 is twice, but there's a difference, the 10 and the 00, but these two are the same. We just need to know if we can add the secondary code. So I would get rid of B and C. I would look at my parentheticals, see if I can add that code or not. This is an add-on code. Our OO is a removal of skin tags. It depends on how many we've done. We've got up to 15 lesions. There's no word each. So we've got 30 skin tags. If we did 15, yeah, we're definitely not going to be doing, yeah, A. We would be doing C. Because Mama Code takes care of 15. That's Mama Code. She does 15, right? And then this one does 10 more. And that only gets us to 25. When do we get to bill another 10 lesions if we only had 5? We would have to have some guidelines to go along with that. I've even got the examples in my notes written that 30 lesions equals the times 2. Example on page 101. Over mid amount, over mid time. It's telling you that your codes are on 99 and 100. What do you think about the next one? I'm sure I've went over on time. How much time have we got, Twinkle? $32 would be the same answer, right? But 39 would definitely be times 3. Yep. Hey, Jill, how's it going? We have been having fun. 35 minutes over. Yep, been on for 2 hours and 35 minutes. We're still in Integumentary right now. Which ones? These are all so close. We got 80, 83, 86, and 88. So page 118, we'll find our codes. Our differences are we got phased bereavement. 83 is superficial, like a tattoo removal. 86 is an abrasion. 88 is chemical. What are we doing? Dermabrasion. Where is dermabrasion? That is our first one, right? For wrinkles. Isn't that what she said she was doing? Or just keratosis? Okay, keratosis. Yeah, spur of the moment. I'm usually not on Saturday nights. So it's unusual. I've got to post last night's live up, and I'll post this one too. Here we go, Jill. We're on page. What do you guys think about that idea, Betty? You and Twinkle doing some tutoring together? Y'all can tag team. I'd love for y'all to tutor before y'all take your exam. We have 1,500 likes, 7 shares. Thank y'all very much. Yeah, I like B and C too. We're on page 97 of the 2022 CPT book. Our differences in the 55. That's pairing and cutting. And then 56 is just depending on how many lesions there are. So that's super nice. We only have to deal with single or multiple lesions. How many? We did 3. So that's more than single. So I would pick my 56 and move on. Yay, Betty agreed. That's awesome. She never agrees to anything. She's like, I'll do it on my own. She's very like me. That would be fun to get y'all both together on a Zoom and do some tutoring. All right, guidelines. How would a coder Select the correct code to bill an excision for a benign lesion. It's either calculating or measuring. I see those two differences right away. What do you guys think? What does your guideline tell you? When you're dealing with benign, are you measuring? Do you include margins or not? Well, we're not talking about taking your exam. Why don't you tutor and see if you can answer any questions correctly? I can tell you with one tutoring session whether you're ready for the exam or you need to go back to the drawing board. Might help. Always the anxiety for the exam is always worse than just getting it done and over with. Some people find it very helpful to go on and take the first exam because they know they have the repeat. That way they figure out what they're running into. They can make some notations in their book to note which codes were used on the exam, what kind of vocabulary is used. It's very scary to walk into something that you've never done before. But knowing that you've got 2 shots at it, if you have a testing facility close enough to you, it's a bit of an advantage to go in the first time without too much stress on you and use it as a educational tool to know what you're going to walk in on your second time. Yes, the anxiety is awful. Hey, Fadia. Meg says it is B, and she is correct. Our one-word difference is, let's see, of the apparent lesion, minus or plus is our differences in those 2 answers. B is the answer. Very good. Good job. Another wordy question. When a skin replacement surgery is performed, what is included? Oh my. Another guideline one. Skin replacement surgery. Do we have to measure and worry about with every skin replacement surgery 100 square centimeters for every skin replacement surgery? That sounds a bit technical for that, so I don't like that answer. Meg is good. Thank you for the sharing the live. D is what I picked too, and it's wrong. Thank you, Twinkle. So, Shell, I picked D too, and I was wrong. Yeah, it's C. Surgical prep, placement of the graft. Yeah. And surgical prep and harvest. Yeah, it's 3 things. The surgical prep, the placement, and then also the graft or whatever. I don't know. But I picked D too, so you're not alone in thinking. I know. But that's not the answer that AAPC wants. They are on page 110 with the guideline and 111. They say that the guideline is there, 110 and 111. So they're calling this a skin replacement surgery. So we have those guidelines, skin replacement surgery. So what does it include? It's in bold print, preparation, and graft. It says it right there in big bold print, guys. Skin replacement surgery, preparation, and graft. So, yeah. I just winged it without looking it up and did D2, so. Good job, Tiffany. Yep. It's really handy to know what page numbers these guidelines are on so you can actually look at them and highlight. Now, yeah. Okay, so if you forget where to look up, can we look up replacement in the back of the CPT book? Will that get us to 110? I wonder. Where is replacement? If we look at this alphabetical index in the back of the book, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Replacement is here. There is a replacement. Look at all this stuff. If you look up replacement in the back of the book, we need to get to page 110, which has what code on it first? We need to get to CPT code 1400-ish, I guess, somewhere around in there. So if we're here, which one will get us to the right code? None of those. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we need to go to replacement skin to find it. Replacement skin. I know that's not going to focus because it doesn't like to focus on crap, but if you go to replacement and close, oops, my battery's about to die. Let me hook up my battery. Charger. Okay, there we go. We got charger hooked up. Ooh, 3% battery life. That was close. Okay, so you could look up replacement and skin in the back of the index and get to the page that this is on. So don't forget about your alphabetical index that you do have in the back of the book. This one might be easier. We've had a couple of discussions about this one. I went by memory too, and I got it wrong. That is on page 110. And if you were talking about what page number it was in the back of the book, I had to drop it. Oops, like I did that really quick because I couldn't hold on to everything. So, replacement and then skin. I was on page 1220. To get me to 110. 106 in the 2021 book. So total body surface area is what we're looking at. That guideline is on page 120 of your 2022 CPT book, they're saying. Page 120. The Lude-Bowder classification method of estimating the extent and depth of percentage of burns. I'm glad we call it TBSA instead of the Lude-Bowder classification method. Ooh, we might need to put TBSA here because I don't even see that word here. Where is that in the 2021 book? It's this page. Sorry. So it's this page in our 2022 book, but I don't even see where TBSA is located, but it's TB. So anyway, I put TBS total body surface area, but this is where they're talking about the Lude-Bowder classification method for estimating the extent, depth, and percentage of burns. So, back to our question. Which one would be our answer? Is it to help reconstruct breast? No. To measure skin surface area for burn treatments? Yes. To help determine tumor size? No. To help measure the size of ulcers? Oh, that's super easy. It is B. That's super easy. Get that back up in there. 10 more minutes for 3 hours. Okay. In the 2022 book, yep, it's page 120. Where is it in our 2021 book? Anybody know? Let me see. It's on page 116. There you go. Peggy got it. Got some rapid fire anatomy questions. These are cool though because you can find the answers in our books, and I'll tell you what page number they're going to be on. So if we're doing a fibroid of the submucosoid, where is it located? And you can actually find the answer in one of our books. Turn my little lazy Susan around. thanks to Auntie CC. Are y'all saying B to this question? I have to go. No worries. Yes, Tiffany, I will be live on Monday, and I will post this one up for the live. This question is not B. Nope. It is uterine wall, but it's not in the wall. It's beneath the uterine wall. You can find that answer in your ICD-10 book on page 902, where they tell you what a fibroid submucosa is. It's the II, and it is located, they're saying, outside the uterus. Oh, submucosa, sorry, wrong one, is located in the muscle. In the muscle is your differences, not in the wall. It's in the muscle. Muscle is your different one. The intramural is in the wall, where intermucosa is in the muscle. Very distinct differences. Good Lord. One's in the wall, one's in the muscle. In the ICD-10 book, we're in the 2022 book from AAPC, and I'm on page 902, and it's right here where they're talking about fibroids, and they have them listed. The page looks like this. It's under common pathologies. It's just not going to focus. Come on, focus. Focus. Focus, 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 focus. Come on, focus. There you go. There you go. Very tricky one. Let's see, is that my boys messaging me? Thank you for letting us know what page number is in the 2021. It's on page 892. Thank you for all the likes. Really appreciate it. We got nine shares, and trying to see almost 2,000 likes. That's awesome. Let's do some more anatomy. Have I done 3 hours yet, though, Twinkle? Which of the following is not a main function of the kidneys? So we got A, B, C, and D. Three hours. Okay, let's finish up this question, and then I'll go finish up my little buzzy thing. It's not done yet. I got half of it down. We'll finish that off. It is so quiet in this house without these boys. Oh my gosh. There we go. So which one is not? You're looking for the wrong answer. Your answer will end up being on page 880 of your ICD-10 book. I'm sorry. ICD-10 book, page 880. You're looking for something that is not the right answer. And actually, your kidneys do help converge your vitamin D. If you're on page 880, it'll say the functions of the kidneys, and it does list them. F does say conversion of vitamin D right there. So you're looking for something that is not on this list, guys. Not on this list. We're on page 880 or 872 if you're in on. If you are, 872 of the 2021 book. So look for something that's not on that list. It does help maintain blood volume. Is blood pressure in there? Let's see. I got this one correct just thinking off the top of my head. pH regulation is there. I just thought about the adrenaline, and I thought, well, my kidneys don't react when I get scared. I mean, I get a lot of people instantly have to go potty or something, but I don't. I don't know. My adrenaline comes from somewhere else. I just knew that was not a function of the kidneys. So yeah, C. And so for this one, if you ever needed to know which one was not a list, you can go straight to your ICD-10 book. You can look at your anatomy of the urinary system, and you can have the list is right there. It does maintain your blood pressure, regulate your pH, and it does convert your vitamin D. So the one it is not is adrenaline. So we can write that in there. If I can get my lazy Susan to stop rolling, it's like moving with my arm pressure because I have it. Sorry. I can't do this while my book's upright and on my lazy Susan with y'all watching because I have to hold it. Not adrenaline. Pen will not write good enough. Maybe. There we go. Come on. Focus on the book. It won't focus, but you know what I wrote. I wrote not adrenaline. Oh, there it goes. Not adrenaline. It's just so it'll match their question. The AMA book doesn't have that. Oh no, Nanners. Well, you can go over here to your CPT book, of course, which I would recommend everybody doing anyway. Go to your urology, which you should already have down anyway. I probably have it there too. If you go to the very beginning of your urology section, your urinary system, we could write here the function of the kidneys. We could write something here. I've got the parts of the kidneys, but I don't have the function. And I could write that list right there. Y'all can screen crop it right there, and then write down those functions. We got plenty of room. We can write them there. Could even write them on the beginning page. Right here, I didn't write anything on that section. But absolutely, we could move that there too. Because I've listed out things and I've done the functions of some of this stuff. But yeah, that would be a really great place to move that section right there. But I hope this bonus material. And I hate Bixby. Oh my gosh. I love my Androids, but I do not like Bixby. I mean, if I need anything, I go, okay, Google. And and she listens to me. I don't like talking to Bixby. Google's funny. I like talking to Google. Thank you so much, Twinkle. I really appreciate it. I hope this has been helpful. The HEMA book doesn't have it in there. Yeah. Yep. You're very welcome, PJ. I hope this has been helpful. I'll be back on Monday night for another live. Don't know what time. It's the last week of the kids being in school. The kids are going to be home for the rest of the summer after this week. So week after next, y'all know I'm going to be on vacation. So there won't be any lives. So, unless y'all want to see the house in Vegas. But next week, I'll do a live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then that week, we're on in that house in Vegas, just women. So that's going on that week. I can't believe I got the house on Memorial Day weekend. I didn't even try, but I guess that happened. I was just trying to get James's birthday close so that he could swim with his friends. But anyway, we're staying there that week. I won't do another workshop until probably the 5th or the 12th. But y'all need to help me figure out what y'all want to do. Do you want to do another workshop? What section do you want to do on? I have no idea. But I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on a Saturday night. Yes, Betty, I'll tell James happy birthday. Remember to post the medicine workshop. Yes, post medicine. I've got to look up some questions for CANPC2. I've got to add 50 modifier to all those codes. I want to do something else with those 19300s to the 19307s. I've got to post Friday night's live, tonight's live up on YouTube. Thank you very much. Got to put medicine workshop up. Yep. I'll do that while this one's rendering. Anything else? I got to make a video on the top 10 guidelines, or at least I need to make a YouTube video because it won't go into TikTok because that's too long. But I need to make a video for the top 10 guidelines too. So somebody asked about. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm around. If I have not answered you, please just keep harassing me. Please keep asking over and over again. Yes, announce about confirming your ADA letter with AAPC. Yes, if you have asked about getting an ADA, be sure you get a copy of that letter in your email. Look for it because you'll need to show it to your proctor, whether in person or online. Probably in person, the proctor will have it, but the online proctor will definitely want to see a copy of that email. Somebody is taking their exam later. I'm so praying for you, Coral Pink. Please, please, please get that. I've got to add to our what's been on the exam the last 45 days update because I got 2 people's info and I know 4 or 5 people are taking it this week too, including Coral. Best of luck. Keep us informed. Let us know how you do. Good or bad, we're here for whatever happens. You know, we want to know all the good, but we want to know all the bad. What can I do to improve here? What else can I show you guys that will help? So let me know. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'll be on Discord, and I will see you on Monday night for another live. Appreciate you guys.